Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Tensura Reincarnated. Today's going to be maybe a longer video. I'll try and keep it brief, but we are going to be going over 3 different monsters today, and they are going to be the Orc, they're also going to be the Orc Lord, and then we're also going to go over the Orc Disaster mobs. So we will go ahead and we will start with aggression. So the regular Orcs are going to be neutral. We'll go ahead and type in game mode creative just so I can go back to it, and then game mode survival. Here we are. So you can see right here he's not trying to attack me, but if I attack him they will fight back and other ones nearby will try to fight you. So by default these guys are going to be neutral, but if they are nearby an Orc Lord or an Orc Disaster they will be hostile. And then next we'll go ahead and we can do both of these at the same time. We'll spawn an Orc Lord and we'll spawn an Orc Disaster, because both of these guys are going to be hostile. Yep, he's coming after me. Here comes the Orc. Yep. They're not going to hit each other, are they? No, but they're both coming after me, so they're both hostile. And then if we go ahead and spawn some Orcs nearby... Oh, I got picked up by him. Oh, I guess they have to be... I see. Oh, now he's coming after me. Yep, see what I mean? They'll turn hostile. So again, by default, regular Orc will be neutral. The other two are hostile by default, and if there are Orcs nearby either of these two, they will be hostile as well. I think I was playing as an Orc once, and this is when the mod first came out, so I don't know if they changed it or not. But if I remember correctly, I spawned as an Orc, and then when I was nearby one of these guys, I think it put me in the frenzy as well because I was also an Orc. So I don't know if that's still a thing or not. But it put me in like frenzy or berserk mode or whatever. And then next we're going to start on the stats. Now we're going to try and do all of them in like this just one section, but we're going to go ahead and start off with the Orcs. Now there's 2 versions of Orcs. There's going to be the regular Orc. I don't know if the stats of the other one's different, but this Orc has 28 HP, 60 SHP, 0 armor, and an EP of, we'll just say around 3,000. Now this is the regular Orc. There is another Orc that will spawn, which will be the Geld version of Orc. So this one, it looks like he has the same stats. His EP is 1,000 though, so maybe it's like 1,000 to 3,000. Next, we're going to go over the Orc Lord. So we'll go ahead and spawn him in. You can see the Orc Lord has 200 HP, 400 SHP, 0 armor, and an EP of 87,000. And then finally, we will spawn in the Orc Disaster. Alright, so we can see he has an HP of 700, 1,400 SHP, 20 armor, and an EP of 234,000. So we'll just say it's about 200 to 250,000. We'll just say around that range. Oh, he looked right at me. Next, we will go over any available skills that you can get. So by default, the base Orcs are not going to give any skills. Oh, wow. It's hard to get Geld to spawn. I just got it on the second try. But the base Orcs are not going to have any skills that will be available for you to get. However, the Orc Lord and Orc Disaster, they have the same skills that you can get. So I guess the easier one would be fight Orc Lord because he has like 500 less health. But the skills that Orc Lord and Orc Disaster are going to be able to give are going to be Corrosion, Starved, Self-Regeneration, Strength, and Scale Armor. Next, what we're going to do is go over the item drops for each of these. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the regular Orcs, and the Geld version does drop something extra. We'll go ahead and wipe these guys out. So the regular Orcs are only going to drop pork chops, and then if they have any equipment items on them, they have a chance of dropping those too. That's where I got this, what is this? An iron axe from. Sometimes they'll have like leather armor, or they'll have chainmail. Sometimes they have spears that you can get, and they have a chance of dropping them when you defeat them. See like how these guys spawned in with iron legs and boots and like chainmail? These guys will have a chance of dropping them. Which they didn't. Now, the Geld version of the Orcs also has a rare chance of dropping the Royal Blood item. So we'll go here, we'll just type in a Royal Blood. Okay, so we got Royal Blood here. This is pretty much used for like going the Orc Lord evolution path. If you start off as like an Orc race, you'll pretty much just use this Royal Blood here. And you'll use that to evolve. I think it's like 5. You need 5 of them. But the Geld version has a chance of dropping 1 of them. Next, we will go over the drops on the Orc Lords. I don't know if they'll fight each other. I don't think they will. No, they're not doing anything to each other. Kind of loud. All right, that should be enough. Oh, they're stuck in the wall. All right. So you can see here, we got some Royal Blood, we got some more pork chops, and we got some like high quality magic crystals. There's also some weapons that are on the ground as well. So that's part of the equipment. So we'll go ahead, pick up this last crystal over here. And you can see that these guys are going to drop raw pork chops, high quality magic crystals. They have a good chance of dropping Royal Blood. I think it's, I don't know if they drop it every time, like if it's guaranteed, but it's like at least 1, right? And then they also have a chance of dropping whatever weapon they have equipped. So they can have either this meat crusher or they'll have the scythe weapon. What is it? This thing, the Blade Tiger Scythe. So when they spawn in, they can spawn in with the Blade Tiger Scythe, or they can spawn in with that meat crusher. I guess it's like a cleaver, or might count as like an axe or something. I don't know. But they have a chance of spawning in with these, and then they also have a chance to drop them. So pork chops, high quality magic crystals, Royal Blood, I think it's only 1 max, and then either a meat crusher or the Blade Tiger Scythe. If they spawn with it, you have a chance of getting that too. And now finally, we will move on to the Orc Disasters. I don't think they will, nope, they're not attacking each other. They would normally be spawning orcs, but I think since I'm so high up and like the ground is only like 1 block deep, I don't think they're just gonna spawn them. We'll go ahead, spawn these guys in. These guys also have the meat cleavers. Sometimes I think they can spawn with the scythe. Oh, yep, right there. That one spawned with the scythe in its hand. Yep, so we're gonna go ahead and see what these guys drop. And it looks like these guys are going to drop Orc Disaster heads, which it says it's a trophy. I believe you can just place it down. Yeah, you can. You can place it down like it's a block, but you can also wear it on your head like it's a little item as well. They drop pork chops. They drop meat crusher. That one dropped the Blade Tiger Scythe. They drop high quality magic crystals. And then they also have a chance of dropping 1 to 3 according to like the wiki. It says 1 to 3 Royal Blood. Next, we will move on to Possession. So we'll go ahead and spawn in. These guys are going to be the same, so I'm not going to try and spawn in another Geld, but the regular orcs are going to be the same. So we're going to check Possession. And you can see that these guys can be possessed. We're going to spawn in the Orc Lord. Ooh. We're going to see if he can be possessed. Nope, the ability doesn't work on the target, so he can't be possessed. And then we're going to spawn in the Orc Disaster. And the ability doesn't work on the target, so he can't be possessed either. Next, we will move on to naming. So if we go over to a regular orc, we can name him. Oh man, I think he's gonna get killed. Once he's mine, I don't know if they're gonna go after him or not. So we're gonna name him. Oh man. Oliver. So we'll call him Oliver. I don't think you can evolve him. So there's Oliver. Yeah, they're not going after him. So then we'll check the Orc Lord next. Target cannot be named. And then we'll check the Orc Disaster. Target cannot be named. I want to get these two separated. I kind of pushed them together so I can, you know, really test to make sure I wasn't getting the same one. Okay, so Orc Lord, target cannot be named. Orc Disaster, target cannot be named. All right, next we will move on to taming. So if we go over to a regular orc and we use Charm, we can tame him, and then we can give him commands. If we go ahead and crouch, you can see we can set him to, we can set him to stay, follow, or wander. And we can also right click on him and we can give him equipment. You can see he has leather boots on him. Oh, I guess that's a way of getting some free equipment. Just like tame a wild orc and then just like loot him. You can put weapons or whatever inside of his hands, and then he has his own little inventory space here. What is this, 12 blocks? So the regular orcs can be tamed using a skill. We'll go ahead and try on the Orc Lord. Activation failed. Nope, so we can't tame him with charm. What about the Orc Disaster? Nope, so these guys can't be tamed, which I'm kind of confused about because before they released this version, when they were showing like, you know, the progress they had made on like the YouTube channel, if I'm remembering correctly, I think they showed an Orc Lord as like a tamed creature, but that may have just been like an idea they were going for, and then they decided not to follow through with it, and then just decided not to make that possible. So next we will move on to breeding. So with the orcs, it's going to be the same as like the goblins or the lizard men. Pretty much as long as you give them food. I don't know if it's any type of food. Let's try an apple. You guys take apples? They do take apples. If you give them any type of food, they will be able to breed. Get them close. There we go. And they will be able to make little... Where is he? Oh, he's squeezed. There he is. They will be able to make little orcs. So if you want to make like an orc army, you can do this. I don't know if you can do this as well to try and breed your own like gelds and then try to use them to get royal blood. I don't know if that's possible to breed them or not, but you can breed these guys to get more orcs if you want. So if you want to make an army, you can do that. And then finally, we will move on to how to spawn these three inside your world. So by default, we're going to go ahead and type in locate, biome, and then hashtag forge. Whoops. And then orc spawn. So by default, these guys will spawn inside of deserts and also badlands. So we're gonna go here. Minecraft desert, they're saying there's one 90 blocks away. I know exactly which one that's talking about. So we're gonna go down to this desert down here. This is where it's saying the orcs will spawn. I think we've seen a couple of them. Yep, there's one right there. I think we've seen a couple of them in the past videos. So there's an orc, he's got an axe in his hand. Keep going, try and find more. There's another one down there. Okay, we're getting a bigger desert part over here. There's an orc over there, another one over there, and another one, actually a couple over here. And they're fighting a night spider. This one's running over to fight him. Oh, man. Oh, there's a village over there too. And then another one just spawned in over there. A couple of them. So these guys will respawn. Oh, look, it's a geld one. So these guys will respawn, and they'll just respawn out here inside the desert. So unlike the goblins and unlike the lizard men, those two don't respawn, but these guys will respawn. In order to get the Orc Lord and the Orc Disaster, every time an orc spawns or an orc would spawn, there's a chance that it'll be an Orc Lord instead. So now that we know that an Orc Lord has a chance of spawning whenever a regular orc spawns, we'll go ahead and show you guys how to get an Orc Disaster to spawn. So what you will need to do is you will take the Orc Lord, go ahead and scan him. So you can see he's at 85,000 EP. We need to get him to 200,000 EP. So like whenever that's his max, he will automatically evolve into the Orc Disaster. So I'm gonna need to spawn in some more creatures. What's a good one to spawn? Something that won't really hurt him, but gives enough energy. I think before, what was I given? So let's go ahead, go over here. Night spider, Ifrit, hover lizard. Something that's not too, you know, destructive that's gonna hurt him. Oh, wait a minute. What if I do Fulgen? Fulgen shouldn't beat him up too badly. Alright, go get him, Fulgen. Yeah, go get him. Oh no, Fulgen's actually doing damage. Oh no! Oh, well. How about this? We'll have him fight some goblins. I don't think these guys can beat him. Orc, whoops, that's regular orc. Orc Lord, go. Oh my goodness. Oh no. I think when they're low enough health, he can just eat them. All right, so he's just eating them. Okay. I don't think this is gonna work because they don't have a whole lot of EP. I wish I could just give him EP. Fight back, fight back! Ooh, here we go! We got him, Orc Disaster. Alright. So he must have eaten enough. So I decided to use the spiders because they have like 6,000 EP and they don't do a whole lot of damage and he can just one-shot them. So let's see what the Orc Disaster does. Ooh, he eats them too. So once again, an Orc Lord, normally it'll spawn down on the ground. It'll just run around and keep attacking everything with like a pack of orcs. Once an Orc Lord's EP gets to 200,000, it will then spawn into an Orc Disaster. And we can see that again. If we spawn in another Orc Disaster, you can see his EP is over 200,000. Spawn another one, 245, 238, 240. Pretty much all of their EP is over 200,000. So that's going to be it for today's video, everyone. I hope today's information was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.